Hello, hello, Gabby. Gabby, thank you. That is so sweet of you. Thank you so much. You know I adore you, you weirdo. I adore Debbie Weirdo. She is one of my favorite hoes. She really is. Let me get my chat pulled up here. And this is going to be, hey, Steven, LOL, Cal Weather Channel. Um, This is going to be kind of a lax live. It's okay if you guys want to talk about other things. We are going to be talking about what's called baby farms, basically, is what they're called. And what brought it to my attention is there was a house that law enforcement went to. There was 21 children in that home that were all born by surrogates. By surrogates. But first, we're going to start out with a song because you guys know I love my music. So, this is Whitney Houston, the greatest love of all. I just couldn't help myself. Here we go. Hey, Chris. Hopefully, you guys can hear it. There ain't a problem. Actually, I will make sure that nobody has a problem here in Whitney. I love this song. Whitney, you are awesome, sawsome girl. You are still the queen. Beautiful song. It's so funny. Hey, AK-47's in the house. I love that song. It's a true song, you know. It's definitely a true song. I do believe. And it's really sad because I just don't think that our children are learning and being made to feel special and finding their place in this messed up world to um, even be educated sometimes. Um, I was going to wait for this story, but before I get into our topic, which of course is going to be the baby farms, that's what they're called. Um, Hold on. I am going to pin my Cash App. Thank you, Debbie. I appreciate that. You are so sweet. Thank you. That does come in handy, especially when there's three little kitties outside. Oh my gosh. So we have the runt who is orange like a sweetie girl here. And then there's another orange one, and then there's a black one. And so I wanted to make sure that the runt was getting food. So I put out some more food for him, chopped it up and everything. That little runt. So he got to it first. And the other orange one comes up there, and I hear this little. He was growling at the other ones, but I did make sure he definitely got the food. He did. I'm doing the best I can with him. All I can do is keep an eye on him. I got to keep an eye on the cats. Okay, so this story just totally disgusted me. Now, it is a long crime network. It's not a long article, but this just happened 4 days ago. This happened 4 days ago. Let me get it pulled up here. Hold on just a second. Welcome to my low budget channel. I commentate. If you get a little education, that is completely a wonderful thing. So I just want to talk very quickly about this Indiana case that happened here in my home state. I'm afraid to say it's almost embarrassing. A mother, I will show you the title of it real quick and drop the link to Long Crime. I know they are so sweet, Chris, for sure. Yeah, it does sound like he can hold his own. I grew up in the 70s, 73. I love old music. I love old music too. I really do. It is just, I mean, it is a lot different than, you know, what we hear now in music, for sure. There's not a filter now. Back in the day, they didn't like you to say inappropriate things, for sure. Oh, thanks, AK-47. I know you've been around for a while. So, Indiana mom tried to sell daughter for $400. $400. I want to show you what this woman looks like. Here she is. She's a real winner chicken dinner, isn't she? No, she's not. She is ate the F up. I'm trying to get to 15 minutes before I say the F word. There is a lot of hate and anger. Yeah. $400 isn't nothing. But I remember researching cases, Chris, where it was for a $10 dime bag. It was for a dime bag of freaking dope that these people will give their children away. It's horrible. But this lady's in trouble. So let's hear this about this disgusting piece of trash. I am not going to call her a mother. All right, here we go.
Attempting to sex traffic her own infant daughter for money. After a multi-agency investigation uncovered chilling messages, Morgan Stapp now faces one serious felony charge, and we're going to break all of this down for you.
Break it down, Jesse.
Welcome to Sidebar, presented by Law and Crime. I'm Jesse Weber.
Break it down, Jesse.
Hey, everybody, this is another Law and Crime legal alert. If you received Depo-Provera birth control shots and were later died, a 32-year-old Indianapolis woman is at the center of a deeply disturbing criminal case after being accused of attempting to sex traffic her own child, an infant, in exchange for cash. Okay? This is an allegation that sparked a multi-agency investigation involving the FBI and experts in child sexual exploitation.
Wait till you hear how old the child is.
These chilling details. This woman, Morgan Stapp, allegedly used social media to send explicit messages and a graphic offer attempting to arrange sexual access to her daughter for money. And she is now facing a charge of attempted child sex trafficking. Here's what we know so far. So the investigation began back in November of 2024 when the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children apparently received a tip regarding suspicious activity tied to a Snapchat account with the username Morgan_Stapp.
And I want to say this. You guys see anything like that? Anything even close to anyone on social media trying to get money for any child? Please call the FBI. Call the FBI immediately. I'm going to call the FBI.
And this brought the FBI in. And one particularly horrifying message allegedly read, "You can bleep her for $400.
No. I'm sorry, you guys. I keep having to stop it. I got to comment on it. What the freak do you comment on that? $400. No way. Half now, the rest I'll send my address. I do live alone. Her dad is not in the picture. Disgusting.
Half now, rest after. I'll send my address. I do live alone. And her dad.
She shows 3 photos of an infant. An infant, Debbie. An infant.
That is not in the picture. Now, when confronted by federal agents, Stapp reportedly denied the allegations and said that her...
Sure, she denied it. She ain't going to admit to it. You ain't going to admit to trying to traffic your own freaking kid for $400.
But investigators kind of remain skeptical. And after the FBI brought in the Indianapolis Metro Police, who got a search warrant for the account, a forensic analysis revealed arguably damning evidence. The explicit messages were apparently traced back to near her address. And in total, authorities uncovered 81 very concerning messages that we're going to talk about. So Stapp was arrested. She was formally charged with attempted child sex trafficking.
Here, I want to show you another picture of her. Hold on. Here she is. I hate to say she's even from my state. They need to put her in prison outside of my state. Send her somewhere else. I don't want to.
under Indiana Code Section 35-42-3.5-1.3. Don't worry, I'm not going to ask you to memorize all that, but this is a level 2 felony. And the statute applies when, quote, a person at least 18 years of age knowingly or intentionally sells or transfers custody of a child under 18 years of age for the purpose of prostitution, juvenile prostitution, or participation in sexual conduct. Okay, before I go any further into the case, I want to bring on back here on Sidebar, fan favorite, one of our favorites, special guest, Marian Bracha, practice professor of law, director of LLM in trial advocacy programs, and a former.
Okay, we're going to go ahead and stop that there. I do want to pull up. We're going to talk. I want to also talk about these 21 children. Now, unfortunately, let's go ahead and I'm going to show you guys this news. This is on YouTube. It's from ABC News Live. I don't really show a whole lot. I don't like to show a whole lot of news stuff because usually I always get gigged on it, but that's the story of my life on YouTube. All right, let's start this story. 21 infants under the age of 3 years old, all born by surrogates, found in the same residence. Maybe some people say I'm nosy for a good reason. I don't want anybody selling drugs on the street or in my neighborhood. Well, of course, I mean, nobody likes that. Nobody likes that. You know. Yeah, she's definitely ugly. She's very ugly.
Police are saying that 21 children, many of them born to surrogate mothers, have been taken from a couple here in California and then placed in protective custody. Investigators are saying they stumbled upon the couple's home while investigating a child abuse case involving a 2-month-old baby that was suffering from a traumatic head injury.
So there was a 2-month-old baby. Law enforcement got called. Suspicion of child abuse. The child was taken to the hospital with a head injury. Look at this house. Look at this house. Where did these people get their money to even pay these surrogates for their kids? I don't understand it.
ABC News' Alex Stone is tracking the story from our Los Angeles bureau. Things that make you shake your head here, Alex. What more do we know about this case and the children, the number of children here? Stunning.
Yeah, and this has a lot of people wanting to know what was going on in that home. Now, not necessarily illegal to have 21 surrogate children, but police say it's obviously suspicious and they want to know more. The women say that they were told that their babies were going to a family who had one child, could not have a second child, were having fertility problems.
What a house.
And they thought they were going to a small family, that it was going to be their second child. But apparently we're going to a couple with a 65-year-old father, 38-year-old mother, that they were in the home. They were looking at the child abuse allegation. They went in, found all of these children, and now police and the FBI are trying to figure out, was anything illegal going on in there?
Okay, before I go any further, do you think any of this was illegal? For real? Do you think any of it was illegal? Please dress your words up in chat. I would appreciate it. 13 baby under 2 in the house. The older children were being cared for in another home. They're looking for the nanny. Now, I didn't hear about a maid, but I did hear about a nanny. Hey, Danny. Right? Well, AK-47, it's like this. I don't care what my grown-ass neighbors are doing, as long as they're not doing it in front of me, as long as they're not causing me to be, as long as they're minding their own business and, they're not doing it in front of their kids, or if they don't have kids. I mean, I kind of just mind my own where that goes. But, if you got people dealing heavy substances on your street, absolutely. I mean, that's just the way it is.
Was there child trafficking of some kind? They don't know.
All right. So it's my understanding, Alex, that this couple, they were arrested and released, but now police have issued an arrest warrant for the nanny?
The nanny.
Yeah, they're looking for the nanny right now. The parents of these 21 children, the legal guardians, the legal parents, were arrested and then they were released in the child abuse investigation. This is the nanny right here who they're looking for. She is the one who allegedly actually took part in the child abuse with that young child. Now, most of these children, 17 of them, are under the age of 3. The mother's all the way from Texas to Florida. So it's suspicious. They don't know how far it's going to go, but they want to know, why did they have 21 children? What was going on?
Yeah,
that's just stunning. So obviously that begs a question here, Alex, is what is next for these kids?
Well, they're in protective custody right now. I talked to law enforcement a little while ago, and they say they've got to put the pieces together. That, I mean, again, is as odd as it seems. They just having 21 of these children is not illegal. So if they conclude the child abuse investigation and it goes back to the nanny and the parents didn't have any wrongdoing, theoretically, the children could go back to the family unless they can prove under child services there's some reason for them not to go back there, unless something illegal is going on beyond the child abuse, unless there is, as some have worried, some kind of child trafficking or a service. We know they have a surrogacy firm that they run out of that home, but was it only for them that they wanted to have all of these children in this massive home? All of that yet to be determined. Federal agents are looking into it. Local police are looking into it as well, trying to figure out what they had going on. They may just be a family that lied to get more and more children and that they were legally in there, and that other than the child.
21 children, though. 21 children. Let me, I've got another. So this is what I have kind of found out. So actually, 2 of the surrogates spoke out. So one woman was almost a surrogate for the couple who are under investigation by authorities. She said she backed out after the couple asked her if any of her friends would like to carry a child. That is a possibility, Chris. We don't know. We don't know. These children can be used for anything. For anything. Now, I want to dig a little deeper. Did these children have birth certificates? Such. Oh, good for you, AK-47. So the request, as well as conflicting information she was getting, left the woman Esperanza unnerved. She decided not to sign a surrogacy contract with Sylvia Zhang, who offered her $60,000. Wow. Zhang, 38, and her husband, Guozhan Zhuang, are now targeted of an investigation. Local and federal authorities after their infant child was taken to the hospital with a traumatic head injuries. Since then, 21 children have been taken from the residence. Now, surrogacy is an agreement between parties for a woman to become pregnant, typically through an embryo transfer and delivery of the baby for the intended purpose for a couple to raise. The children range in age from 2 months to 13 years, with the most being between 1 and 3. Now, this woman was just one of 8 that say they were aggressively pursued by the couple to serve as surrogates. Many were first-time surrogates who were given misleading or incomplete information about the couple's family situation and intentions. Now, as I said, one said no. Another one, hey, Poppy darling, hey, Luna, One is actually trying to get her baby back. One is trying to get the baby back. They believe the couple, they're investigating them misleading surrogates around the country. So, now, there was a business called Mark Surrogacy. According to the contract that one signed and shared with the AP California State Records show, a company called Mark Surrogacy Investments LLC registered at the company's Arcadia home until this June. Wow. Of course, no one recognized the name or the Mark Surrogacy LLC registration. Wow. Now, there are other social media posts, a lot of people on X that have come out and said that they had served as surrogates for Zhang and Wang. Until the couple became suspicious when they were not fulfilling payment obligations. Also, they were not present for the children's births, right? Well, I mean, I don't know about that, Debbie. I guess if the child is taken into, you think she's going to have to adopt her own baby? I don't think she may not have too much of a problem doing that. I guess it would depend on her background, right? So charges hadn't been filed at the time. They are looking into possible child abuse charges and are anticipating presenting a case in a few weeks. Now, the couple says, we just wanted a large family. They did produce what appeared to be legitimate birth certificates, right? That's interesting, Danny. Were they drawing public assistance for 21 children? The babies are blood related to both parents. These women just carried. From my understanding, they were using these surrogates' eggs. I don't know. Let me see, Debbie. Now, some birth certificates are from the outside of California, that list Zhang as the mother of the children. Now, the man was listed as the father only on some of the birth certificates. So he wasn't the father on all of them. Now, they're saying here that they had a Facebook post asking people if they were interested in surrogacy. Then they would receive a message from Zhang. She would tell people that her and her partner already had an 8-year-old daughter in China, but were having fertility issues. Well, wait, why are you living in the United States then? She said she was working with a surrogate who was already pregnant, but that she wanted twins. So she was looking for a second surrogate. Wow, this is crazy. Here, let me pull up the article. She said she's a realtor in Arcadia. That's how she had a lot of money and was able to afford a lot of surrogates at the time. Okay, so this woman says, I'm a realtor, I make a lot of money, and I want a lot of babies, right? I don't understand what you mean, AK-47. So I don't know if these babies are actually blood related. Zhang offered $3,000 more if she agreed to keep going, and another $2,000 bonus after a fetal heartbeats detected. Elliot gave birth to a baby in March. She chose to be a surrogate because she really wanted to give somebody a family. Okay. The contract ended up saying that this woman would receive $65,000 in a series of payments by week 16. Gestational period, week 16. Okay, so this woman flew to California to meet the couple, and the man showed up. Only the older gentleman showed up. As the process went on, she didn't have a lot of contact with either one of them, which is uncommon. Now, most messages was through text and emails with representatives from the agency who discouraged her from reaching out to Zhang, saying they're very busy people. When this woman found out that they had at least 2 other surrogates having baby for them, she was told by the agency that they just want a big family. Sounds like she's into it for money. 65. Yeah, 65,000 is a lot of money. Well, they just told them that they had a child in China, an 8-year-old. But if they had that much money, why was the 8-year-old in China? I don't know. Okay. Neither parent showed up for the delivery. It was, okay. So she did show up, ship, fire, and save matches. She did show up for the egg retrieval, it looked like. Wait a minute, let me find that. Where was I? I'm sorry, I lost myself. No. Okay, it's down here. Okay. So she did fly to California for the embryo transfer, which was done at a Western Fertility Institute in LA. Of course, the clinic was like, we're not saying anything. Neither parent were there when she delivered her baby, and only Zhang, the female, showed up a few hours after the baby was born. She didn't seem very connected with the child. She kind of barely looked at her. Well, how do you kind of barely look? After handing her $2,000 in cash and giving 3 of her family members in the room $200 each, the woman left with the baby girl. Why did she give the family members money? That's weird, right? Yeah, that's what I want to know. Why'd they leave the 8-year-old behind in China? Now, this is the woman who wants custody back. This is crazy. This is crazy. Crazy. Hold on, I'm going to pull up. I had some more. Okay, so basically what this is also called is child harvesting. And the article that I pull up is about the systematic sale of human children. for the practice of accepting custody of an infant or child in exchange for payment. Okay, baby farming is the historical practice of accepting custody of an infant or child in exchange for payment. If the infant was young, this usually included wet nursing, etc. Now, you guys, a lot of you probably don't remember because there's a lot of new people over here. I did a live where I talked about, I actually showed a trafficker and a woman that was paid for her baby. The interviewer actually, at the end of it, did get access to the child that they were waiting to be born. She did not want the child, and so she basically sold the baby to traffickers. She didn't care. She did not care what was going to happen to the baby at all. She didn't care. Did not care. We know that they do take, and you may not think so, but the practice of baby farming goes back to like 1870. 1870. Okay, let me see if I can, hold on. It's just disgusting. I mean, do you guys honestly think 21 children is a lot of children, you guys? 21 children is a lot of children. Let's see if we can, who are the couple with, let's see if we can find out a little bit about them. I have a couple here. Oh, this is interesting. So here, let me share this article. Yeah, that's what I want to know. How'd they take care of all them babies? Maybe eventually we'll be able to see what the inside of that house was. Freaking huge. Right? Couple in California surrogate case also faced 2 lawsuits over real estate business practices. The employees said they were denied breaks, paid late, and these were filed 2 years ago. Look at that house. Look at that house. This is the home of Sylvia Zhang and Gojan Zwan in Arcadia, California. Wow. That's crazy. Okay, let's see. They say they're terrible people. They have shady business practices, from what they say. One individual worked for the couple's real estate company for 6 months in 2022. She's among a group of 6 former real estate employees who filed a class action suit that accuses them of unfair treatment, including failure to pay overtime wages, failure to permit timely rest breaks. Okay. Of course, they're not talking. I can see why. According to this woman, the couple initially ran the real estate business out of the home. where police recently removed, they say 21. This says 15 after a 2-month-old baby was taken to the hospital for head trauma. A spokesman for the Arcadia Police Department said Thursday that video evidence recovered from the home showed that some of the younger children were subjected to, trigger warning, physical and emotional abuse by nannies. They believe the couple knew this was happening and did nothing. Now, the arrest warrant is for a 56-year-old nanny who was seen on camera violently shaking and striking the 2-month-old baby who was hospitalized. The couple was arrested in May on suspicion of felony child endangerment and neglect, but were released from custody pending further investigation. 6 other children belonging to the couple were found in the care of family and friends. Right? Yeah, I've seen, yeah. Oh, hey, flies. How you feeling, girl? So, some of these kids, 6 of them, were with family and friends. Powers said that when she worked for the couple, many of the rooms in the 9-bedroom home had been turned into offices, and there were cameras everywhere because they thought you were conspiring against them. Here they are. She recalled seeing 4 of the 5 children in the home, one she believed to be biologically Zhang's from a previous relationship, and 3 others she believed biologically belonged to a woman who was allegedly a surrogate and a nanny. It says here that, yes, they do have one biological child together. Yeah, tell Charlie I said, hey, Charlie. Okay. There were 2 girls that helped her out with what they called the nursery, and one of them was a surrogate. But how do you fit 21 children in a 9-bedroom home that they say most of the rooms were turned into offices? Yeah, they must have been teaching them young, right? She said she never witnessed any abuse toward the children, but the couple would yell at each other and mistreat their real estate employees. Okay. The couple would fire employees whenever they felt like it. That sounds like the norm in America. Poor working condition. It was dysfunctional. Those 2 yelled and screamed at each other like bloody red rum, and it would echo throughout the mansion. They would throw things at each other. Okay, so sounds like there was a little DV going on there. Yelling, throwing things. Okay, so this woman was fired in September of 2022. Craziness. So when she was fired, she got a hold of other employees and filed a class action lawsuit. Ooh, in July of 2022, Another former employee sued the real estate company and Zwan allegedly for wrongful termination, battery, assault, and failure to pay overtime. He says that the man threw rocks at him following an argument, brandished an assault pew pew. What? And fired him. I think I would have quit if somebody pulled some shit out on me. But of course, they tried to say it was a toy weapon. A toy weapon. Okay. Hostile work environment, screamed at employees, and illegally removed tenants from their homes. So they had, oh, okay, they must own more than one home. If they were illegally removing tenants from their homes. Okay. During one trip to a rental property, this man witnessed Zwan illegally change the locks to a home, preventing the tenant from entering the residence. Wow, that sucks. Okay, I'm not seeing a whole lot. Sounds like they were hostile. They say the man was increasingly hostile to him. When this gentleman said, "Don't touch me," Zwan allegedly started swinging at him, throwing rocks at him. He asked the man to meet him in the office and then began throwing things. Okay. All right, these people are crazy then. Okay. Arcadia Police, working with the FBI and Los Angeles County Department of Children and Family Services, is still investigating. Someone texted, let's see if it's up here. This is Crazy. There were surrogate moms from Texas to Florida. That's crazy. So there's a lot of surrogates coming out to yes, they did embryo transfers via IVF. So these are not, if they're doing embryo transfers, okay, help me understand this. If they're doing embryo transfers, whose embryos were they getting, I wonder? Two months after one surrogate gave birth, she learned that the baby she carried was no longer with the intended parents. The child had been placed in foster care. Wow. So she has this baby and gave birth on March 13th, but the baby ended up in Foster care? I don't understand. Hold on, we might listen to this. Hold on. This is crazy. Why would the baby end up in foster care? She later found out the baby she carried wasn't the only one removed from the home. Multiple children had been taken into protective custody. Oh, maybe it was after. Okay. Dang. They all worked with the Mark surrogacy. That's what got them busted, was the 2-month-old baby's hospitalization with head trauma. They say that they are the legal parents of that child. What are you doing, sweetie? Where are you going? Which direction? Don't step on my keyboard. You will make a mess of what already is a mess. You understand, lady? Okay. Sorry. I had to talk to this cat who's in front of my monitor. Okay, so police allege a nanny did this to the baby, and the parents delayed seeking medical care for 2 days. 2 days. They say the kids are in the age range of 2 months to 13. Most being babies and toddlers. Wow. They said she was able to show she was the legal mom on all birth certificates. Remember, her name's on the birth certificates, but his name isn't on. Yeah, all the kids are in foster care now. This is crazy. I mean, that's a lot of babies. A surrogate in Pennsylvania who asked to remain anonymous says she is currently pregnant with a child for this Mark surrogacy. She said that her and a few others are 26 weeks along. Yes, what's going to happen to all the babies that, I don't know. The baby that was allegedly abused is still in the hospital. And they're still looking for the nanny. Of the 21 removed, 15 were found in the Arcadia home and 6 from another location where they were receiving child care at the time. So all of these kids, only 6 of them were receiving child care at the time. Police also say they have evidence of additional abuse involving other nannies and are going to present their findings to the district attorney. So one of the surrogates, what do you think about this, Debbie? I know you'll have something to say about this. One of the surrogates has started a GoFundMe campaign so she can get custody of the child she delivered. There's a GoFundMe, Debbie. Hey, Kathy, to get this baby back. Yeah, that could be true. I don't know, Danny. We're going to find out, though. I mean, when they're through with the investigation. I'm sorry, I just don't see someone having 21 kids like that. It's a little different if, I guess, if you're like an orphanage or something like that. But just to have 21 children, that doesn't make any sense. KTLA reached out to the FBI. They could neither confirm nor deny the investigation. DCFS also declined to release any specific or comment on the case. So we'll be finding that out. Now here, I don't know why they blurred her face. Why did they blur her face? I don't know. We'll listen to it though.
A child for the same couple who have now been arrested on suspicion of child abuse. And the number of children involved in the bizarre story is staggering.
Yeah, 21 children aged 2 months to 13 years old have been taken into protective custody. We have live team coverage on this case tonight, including KTLA's Lindsay Pena. She's in the newsroom. We're going to start off with Lauren Lister, though. She's live in Arcadia. Lauren.
There's closed captions. All right. Let's see.
Good evening. Police tell me that most of the children were babies and toddlers, and the mother could furnish birth certificates showing she's the legal parent to all 21 of them. They are now in protective custody following a child abuse investigation where police allege a nanny violently shook and struck one of the babies. The surrogates that carried some of these children now shocked and devastated.
Kayla, why did you want to be a surrogate mother?
I love being pregnant, but I was done growing my own family. So I thought, what better way to get to experience pregnancy at the same time as help somebody grow their family.
Kayla, a 27-year-old Texas.
I don't understand. There are surrogates who do love having children for people who can't have children of their own. It's just crazy to me that somebody would have 21.
Woman wanted to be a surrogate mom to help a couple struggling to build a family, and she made it a reality when a surrogacy agency paired her with an Arcadia couple, and she agreed to have their baby by transferring their embryo via IVF. All went well medically, and the baby was born March 13th.
So this woman has had, she's got to be high octane where it comes to egg retrieval, right? How many freaking eggs? How many eggs did this woman have? That's a lot of eggs.
2 months later, Kayla learned the baby she carried was not with mom and dad.
She is in a foster home. It's kind of worst case scenario, something that is almost unbelievable unless you're living it.
That wasn't the only heartbreaking news. She also found the baby she carried wasn't the only one removed from the home.
There was multiple other children taken. So yeah, it was devastating.
Child after child. In fact, KTLA spoke to 3 other women who did not want to be identified that say they were all surrogate mothers to this same couple. The women say they were recruited by an agency called Mark Surrogacy and did not know they were all caring for the same people. Public records show Mark Surrogacy listed this Arcadia home as its address and also show it's where Sylvia Zhang lives. That is the...
Okay, so she's running... I wonder how many babies are actually missing. $65,000 is a lot of money, Debbie. It is. Because a lot of surrogacy places, don't they pay your medical bills too? They pay all the medical bills and everything, don't they? But why would you hand family members of a surrogate who just had a baby, and you're going to hand her $2,000 cash, and you're going to give the family members $200 a piece? Why? Why would you give the family members anything? Hey, she just had a baby for me. Let me give you all $200. That doesn't sound right to me. I'm sorry, it doesn't. Not at all. That sounds freaking weird. I don't remember, Debbie.
Woman these surrogates say they carried for. It's also where Arcadia PD says a child abuse investigation led them in May after Sylvia and her partner's baby ended up in the hospital with head trauma. Arcadia PD says they arrested the couple living in the home. Legally, the baby's mom and dad.
He's 65. What is he doing with all these kids? And she's already just put in the address, Debbie, and then put Arcadia and see what shows up.
Zhang and Guo Jin Shan on suspicion of felony charges.
Child abuse, child endangerment.
Police allege a nanny abused the baby and the parents knew but did not get medical care for 2 days. Department of Children and Family Services investigated, removing the rest of the couple's children from their custody. But the number is staggering.
So in total, there were 21 children taken into protective custody related to the mother and father.
You heard.
And these were toddlers. Where I want to see the inside of the house. I want to see where all these babies that were toddlers were playing, and I want to see it.
Right, 21 children, all taken into DCFS custody. As for Mark's surrogacy, public records show they filed papers terminating the company.
We're pretty far along.
But a Pennsylvania surrogate who says contractually she can't disclose her name or the parents says she is due in the fall, and she doesn't know where that baby will end up.
So
oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. This is the thing, because that was interesting when you mentioned that, Debbie, because how would you know which one is your child? Does that make sense? There would have to be I gotta ask this question. I'm sorry. Wait a minute, you guys. Wait a flipping minute. I'll pull that back up, I promise. Does a baby No, a baby does not receive any DNA from a surrogate mother in gestational surrogacy. So how does this girl know which one's her baby? No, it says no. Doctors create an embryo by fertilizing eggs from the intended mother or egg donor with sperm from the father or sperm donor. Because of the gestational carrier doesn't provide the egg, she is not genetically related to the child. So I want to know. Well, yeah, but Flies, but some of these women are saying that they're all carrying and giving birth around the same time. I mean, yeah, I guess birthday, yeah. Hey, Mr. A. Right? Well, I mean, good luck to her. I hope she finds her. Guessing they were trafficking these children with Chinatown and downtown. What? I haven't heard that yet, Danny, but I haven't got through the whole story yet. That's kind of weird. Lippy, what is up? Lippy's in the house. Good to see you, Lippy. Girl, I'm behind all the time, Lippy. Don't worry about it. They were all implanted at the same time. She got paid. It's not her biological. I don't under. Yeah, me neither. 120 acres. Me either. Yeah, she's going to have to go through and try to adopt and everything. What if they give all these kids back? What if they end up giving all these kids back? Do you guys think they'll give them back? I just don't think that. Yeah, it's really weird. Really weird.
We are carrying with Mark Surrogacy, and we're currently 26 weeks. And it really hit hard when all of this came through.
We received a text response from a cell phone associated with Sylvia Zhang saying any accusations of wrongdoing are misguided and wrong. We look forward to vindicating any such claims at the appropriate time when and if any actions are brought.
Well, if she's on all the birth certificates, what can anybody do? If it was her egg, right? If it was her egg and she paid these women to carry these children, I guess my question is, besides the kids that they have in their custody now, how many children have been moved through that house? Do you know what I'm saying? Well, that stuff goes on everywhere, Danny. Just because they're from China doesn't mean they're doing that. I don't know. But that stuff goes on everywhere. Everywhere. Yes, long court case. Absolutely. And they are all consenting adults, Chris. You're absolutely right. They sign a contract. They sign a contract. It's kind of weird that you have a surrogate who's pregnant saying, I'm going to give birth pretty soon, and I don't know what's going to happen to this child. Because this is weird. This is weird, y'all.
Police tell me the injured baby is still in the hospital, and that nanny who's been implicated, they still have not located. As for the parents, they are out of jail. Police say they're planning to present a case to the district attorney soon, saying they allegedly have evidence of further abuse to the children from the nannies. Also, the FBI investigating this too. In Arcadia, I'm Lauren Lister, KTLA 5 News.
Thank you, Lauren Lister. No, Lauren is not related to me, you guys, okay? I just want you to know that. For sure. Hang on, I'm getting in my drawer. So, I mean, we can, okay, so, I don't know what to, I don't know. I don't know. So, oh shit, hang on. Okay, that was Chad. He's buying me a candle. Yes, I think so too. I think the nanny is long gone. Long gone. Right? What do you guys, I mean, what do you think if the children are given back? If these people have that much money, I mean, they must be very successful in the real estate business, right? To be able to pay that amount of money. But I don't know. I don't see. She had a lot of eggs. I'm sorry I keep saying that. I got to pull this up. How many eggs? You guys know me, I'm freaking weird. How many eggs can be retrieved? Let's see. Okay, so at the age of 42, a woman can typically retrieve between 3 and 10 eggs. The number can vary. And if she was on fertility medications, okay, so it does decline with age. Yes, she actually, I mean, good possibility that those are all her eggs. For sure. But it costs a lot of money for IVF, right? Doesn't it? Let's see. How much does IVF cost? Bada bing. The average cost for a single IVF cycle in the U.S. ranges from $12,000 to $15,000. However, it can fluctuate significantly based on various factors. We're born with eggs we're going to have. Some women have more than others. Well, this woman has a lot. Are you getting this from Facebook, Danny? Is that where you're getting your info from, Facebook? Well, that's very interesting. Who has 5 names? The nanny? The nanny has 5 names? Never a dull moment with Danny around, for real. 120 acres, she could also frozen. Yes, frozen eggs, yeah. Yeah, they have to be, you're right. They got to be successful at something. California realtors make bank. Well, she must be really fucking good at it. For real. How much does it cost to get pregnant by IVF? $15,000 to $30,000 or more. A single cycle ranges from $15,000 to $30,000 or more. The price range often includes the base IVF cycle cost, medications, and additional services like genetic testing. Now, the $12,000 to $16,000 covers monitoring appointments, egg retrieval, fertilization, embryo transfer, and some lab fees. Wow. So you live close to Chinatown, Debbie or Danny? Is this the nanny real? No, it's a real nanny, Flies. It is real. She's a real nanny. And let me tell you, they were probably, this is just my opinion, abusing the nannies who were then abusing the kids. You know, wild. Wild, you guys. That's crazy. It's all crazy. Oh, my Lord. Well, this is going to be an interesting story when it takes shape. For real. We shall find out. But don't ever think that there aren't horrible people out there in the world that will have a baby by someone that already knows they are going to do something nefarious in that situation. They are out there. They are real. $400 to do horrible things to an infant. Who does that? Well, this piece of shit from Indianapolis did it. I'm going to be researching her a little bit more also. For sure. How are you running a business out of a home that also has 21 children in it? Toddlers. Yeah. Yeah. For real. That's what Danny was talking about. Danny was talking about some happenings in Chinatown. But unfortunately, it does happen everywhere. It absolutely does. Yes. Yes, there are individuals who want babies, trigger warning, only for their organs. For sure. You live 45 minutes from Arcadia? Dang, girl. For real. I'm just waiting. I want to see how everybody feels if they end up giving those children back. Because don't forget, they're saying the nanny did it. But why'd the parents wait 2 days? Why'd they wait 2 days? Did it take them 2 days to look at the monitor? Right? There's some sick people in our world, y'all. For sure. Just craziness. Craziness. Oh, the baby finally went unconscious. Crazy. Crazy. Okay, wait. We're gonna, let me pull this up. Let's see what we got going on. They think it might be a baby mill, though. For sure. In October of 2019, there was an Arizona elected official arrested for allegedly running a baby adoption ring. Sure did. This is nuts. crazy. Did you guys know that? Hold on. This is wild, you guys. This is freaking wild. Okay. This happened in the summer of 1896. 1896. 57-year-old Amelia Dyer was executed for the red rum of a baby girl. It was a sample charge. The bodies of 6 more babies had been found, and further evidence pointed to at least 12 red rums. That was back in the 1800s. Almost the 1900s. That's what I said, 120 acres. That's exactly what I said. You guys give me one moment, please. Okay, Bambinos. I am bad, Bambinos. We need to open our homes, help these children. Well, it's not that we don't have professional people to do those jobs. It's a very high-stress job. So it really takes a certain kind of person to be able to do it. And we just have more and more children. For sure. There was a house here in the UK called Red Rum, and it became famous because it won an annual race called the Grand. What's that got to do with what, Chris? Well, that is cool, I guess. Looks like house builds it. Yeah, it does. But yeah, this was going on back in 1896. It's believed she unalived more babies. Some have even attributed as more than 400. 400. There is extraordinary documents, images, and artifacts from the case. Wow, I'm going to have to pull that up. In Victorian Britain, the circumstances for most unmarried mothers were bleak. They faced a life of struggle caring for their children while earning enough to survive in a society where single parenthood and illegitimacy was frowned upon. It's not like that now. It's not. Single parenthood and illegitimacy is not something, I don't look down on it. I mean, I don't know how anybody else feels. You know, some people may frown upon it, but it's not like that anymore. Not in our woke society, anyway. Wow. Fostering and adoption services were rarely controlled by modern standards. One result was the profitable practice in which baby farmers acted as adoption or fostering agents for an upfront fee from the baby's mothers. Many baby farmers acted in good faith. The practice was often misused, making it difficult to trace what happened to the children involved. Or still, it was often in the baby farmer's financial interest for the children left in their care not to survive. Wow. No, I get what you're saying, Debbie. I'm just saying that being a single parent today, I don't think it's frowned upon like it would have been back in the late 1800s. I'm sure back in the late 1800s. I never even really thought about this. I had seen like where, you know, that there'd be like monasteries and different places for, you know, pregnant girls to go to. It's much more accepted today, I think. This is, oh my God. This is a newspaper advertisement placed by Amelia Dyer. Married couple with no family would adopt healthy child, nice country home. Terms, something. Highly respectable married couple wish to adopt child, good country home, premium required, very small. That's nuts. This was back in the late 1800s, you guys. Okay. Wow. That's crazy. She changed her name, her addresses, and they finally busted her out. Dyer pocketed the money and unalived the babies within days. She later admitted to unaliving them on the same day they were placed in her care. She unalived them by taking white tape around their throats, and then she would wrap them in paper packages and bags and dump them in the rivers. Trigger warning. Sorry, y'all. That's crazy. Wow. They got her, though. 20 years. 20 years. She kept running from them, too. That's wild. Well, we may get into the story of Amelia Dyer sometime. That's pretty wild. Pretty crazy for real. I'll put my comments up there. Why wouldn't she, Debbie? You think she'd plead out? Is that what you're saying? Oh my gosh, Debbie, I almost forgot Stephen Stern. Oh my gosh. So allegedly, Stephen Stern pled out. He took a plea. Sick dude. Stephen Stern's unalived Madeline Soto, allegedly, I have to say. Is it breaking news, Debbie? New plea hearing set in Stephen Stern's case. Now, this is ahead of the, okay, I'm just going to kind of give you guys a little rundown here. Stephen Stern's is a man that lived with a young girl named Madeline Soto and her mother, Jennifer Soto. Within the process of him being mommy's boyfriend, he, on his phone, it was confiscated by law enforcement, and on this phone were images of him doing horrible things to little Madeline as far back as when she was 8. Madeline, the night before she passed away, had just turned 13 years old. So this man had been doing this to her for years. And then he's trying to say that she had already passed away up in the bedroom. And when he found her, she was cold. Weird shit. It's on my list somewhere. I talked about that. Now, there's going to be 2 trials. The first one is the Essie Actual Battery trial. The second trial is going to be the Red Rum trial. Now, in both instances, he could receive the DP. And if he is going to plea out in the Essie Actual Battery trial, that's interesting too, because we aren't going to, well, of course, I really don't think the judge is going to allow everyone to see those images that came from his phone and stuff, for real. I mean, this guy is sick in the freaking head. So that's probably why he's taking that plea. That's probably why he's taking that plea. This dude is a sick man. This man had a 5-year-old child doing something with, something that wasn't a human, and had it on his phone. This guy is a fucking monster. There's no other words. He's a fucking monster. And, I'm here to say it's my opinion. They need to make a fucking example out of him. And he might be able to plea out on this, but they better not let him plea out on that Red Rum charge. I'm serious. This guy will never be a member of society. Oh, thanks, 120 Acres, for popping in. I appreciate you so much. I do. Make sure you come back again. I know Lippy even popped in. Lippy, I'm going to drop your link. As soon as I go over there, I'll drop it. Or Debbie can drop it, or I think Poppy's kind of in and out. I don't think nobody's listening anymore. Are you guys getting tired of me already? Okay. The man accused of R-ing and red rumming 13-year-old Madeline Soto has notified the judge he will appear in Osceola County courtroom Monday afternoon to enter a new plea. Previously, he pled not guilty. They're not going to let him. He is facing two separate trials. Two separate trials. Stevens, 39, previously pleaded not guilty to charges that he red rummed his former girlfriend's daughter in 2024, following years of sexually battering the minor and possessing explicit images of those encounters. It was bad, you guys. I started reading some of the stuff. I'm telling you, this guy is a monster. A monster. I had every charge pulled up. I would have to go back and find it again. But, I mean, this dude had a shitload of charges in the actual stuff trial. And his paperwork is just charge after charge after charge. I truly believe that he knows. Thank you, Debbie. I truly believe that this guy knows that he, this guy's, I'm sorry, I can't even describe this man. Can't even describe this guy. He just wasn't. Oh, hang on, Chad. Thing here. Hold on. So they just can't. And you guys can go through, I mean, all the information is right here on this. If you go to, where am I at here? If you guys want to kind of catch up on everything, what? Okay. News 6 has everything. They will take you down through it all. Right there is one of the interviews. This guy acted like he didn't know anything. He unalived Madeline. They said that she, trigger warning, I just have to say, you guys, he strangled her. He strangled her. This guy is, okay. For the sexual, he faced 60 criminal charges. 60 criminal charges. I couldn't read all the charges. They were bad. Including sexual battery on a child under the age of 12, lewd and lascivious molest, unlawful possession of materials depicting sexual performance by a child. You know what kind of gets me? you know, I don't like when they take the victim and put them next to the perpetrator. The only people I've heard they got while in prison is Dahmer and Epstein. Well, we don't know about Epstein, Debbie. I know everybody believes he was taken care of. I don't think he'll. I don't know. I mean, thanks, Chris. Thanks for coming in. Appreciate you. No, they also got, oh man, there's a couple other inmates that got taken out too. We've got Dahmer. We've got Albert DeSalvo. They identified him as the Boston Strangler. Donald Harvey, known as the Angel of Death. The Pied Piper of Tucson. Damn, there's a lot of them. The Gaffney Strangler, Leroy Martin, Jose Antonio Rodriguez Vega, a Spanish serial unaliver. He was attacked and taken out with a shank numerous times by other inmates. Wow, that's crazy. Epstein's not on the list. But these are serial killers, ain't they? Basically, right? For sure. Huh. Wow. Let's see. There's a few on the list. But I don't know. There's Dahmer. Who's Polly Bartlett, also known as the murderess of Slaughterhouse Gulch, is purported to have been a 19th century red rummer from the Wyoming Territory. She is said to have been the first serial unaliver in Wyoming before it was even incorporated as a state. Okay, I want to see the rest of it. While the story's been repeated in several publications, Wyoming historians say that there is no proof that the story is true. Okay. Well, I don't want to talk about it if it's not true. Why'd you put it on there if it ain't true? Lord have mercy. Yeah, they do. They put them with other little freaking monsters. For sure. I mean, this upsets me. It really does. Madeline needs justice, and Madeline, you know, it's so sad. So sad. I don't know. I didn't know, y'all. We got a lot of bad kids doing a lot of bad things. I mean, I think so, Debbie. I think her grandmother and her aunts, her grandfather, I believe they will stand up and ask for justice for Maddie. I really do. I don't know about her mama. I don't know about her mama, though. For sure. I mean, she went straight and kind of committed herself. Would you have done that? I mean, seriously, think about it. I mean, we all heard her in that interview say weird shit, right? She's weird. But she goes and basically commits herself, and nobody was going to mess with her where she was at. Could you imagine Jen Soto not doing that and living in that condo, still in that condo? Could you imagine that? People from social media driving by, honking, standing out, taking pictures of her house, waiting to get just a glimpse of Jennifer Soto or anybody that lives in there. Could you imagine that? I mean, think about it. Dawn and Candace were pretty lucky. They lived on the top of a hill. Right? They at least lived on the top of a hill. Sad. That could be what pushed her over the edge. It was just weird, Debbie, when she made the comment, something about him doing things to Madeline. She didn't think that was a big deal. It was if he had taken her life. Weird. I'll have to find that. I do have that somewhere. Because she's the one who told him to go get a lawyer. She's the one that suggested he go get a lawyer. Because she didn't think he did it. It was one thing that he was doing the nasty with her daughter, and I really think she knew it. Guess what, though? That means, is she going to get up and testify? I want to see how this goes. I do. And I'll probably drag y'all right along with me. You know how I am. You know, it's weird. I've got on here before and nobody's even been on here, and I'll still talk. I don't care. If I got something to talk about, I'll talk about it. Matthew came in the other day. I was in here and I was like, all right, what am I going to talk about? And Matthew come in and hung out with me. Okay. But yes, please don't ever forget that a lot of bad things do happen to our children. And I mean, it sucks to talk about it because nobody's really interested. I mean, I'm not saying that because I know you guys are interested. At least you came over and hung out. But things like that, people tend to maybe not talk about it. Not that nobody doesn't care, because I know a lot of people care. But it is something that you know. Do I need to change my name or my idea? On what? On what, AK-47? What do you mean change your name or your idea? Did you finally, are you doing your Legos on YouTube? That's what you were doing last time I seen you. Lego man. Yeah, that's what she said, Debbie. It was messed up. It really was. For sure. Well, I'm glad Fly's got to pop into chat. I hope she's resting. I know she's got a lot on her plate right now. And we are praying. I know if you change your name, AK-47, how I'm going to know if know it's you. You going to tell me it's you? Sometimes I know. Sometimes I do know. Because I do go to people's channel, you know. I do that. If I'm, you know, being a little nosy and you pop into my chat, I might just check you out and see who you are. See what you're about. See what you like. For sure. I do get some very interesting people over here, I have to say. All different kinds. I love that, though. Kind of just hang out and... But you guys know me. I am just a low-budget bitch. For real. For real. Debbie, I adore you. Thank you for your super duper there. I appreciate you. Oh, thanks, Steven. Thanks, LawCal Weather Channel. Steven, I do love that you changed the name of your channel. You just change it up however you want to. Ain't nothing wrong with that. You do you, Steven. Show me where the flag. I think y'all know your birthday. What? I do not know that song. You're annoyed. What are you annoyed about? You ain't got to be annoyed. I think you meant to say, I'm annoying. Or are you annoyed with us? Which is it? Are you annoyed with us or what? Are you singing a song? Is that what you're doing? That is so cute. All right, my ass is getting off here. I'm not going over 2 hours, but I did enjoy the conversation. And, you know, some things are so real. It'd be interesting to see if these children are returned to the mother that's on the birth certificate. But I think there's a lot more that's going to come out. And because that's just a lot of kids, y'all. That is just a lot of kids. I'm not comprehending why a couple would need 21 freaking kids. What were they going to use them for? You've been singing. Oh, we love you over here, AK-47. You know that. You know you're always welcome over here. For real. You all say interesting stuff. I mean, that's why I like my channel, because you guys come in and you guys say interesting stuff. I think everybody's got, at times, has something to share over here. But one thing I do like about my channel is nobody's over here fighting with each other. Y'all ain't fighting, and I appreciate that. I really do. I'm just not, I mean, yes, I could fight. I really could. I can get loud and obnoxious, and one of my favorite things is shut the fuck up. That's just the way it is. But I'd rather hang out and at least have conversations about stuff. For sure. I rode a short bus and you all people, not short bus. What? I rode a short bus and you were all those people, not short bus, to the smartest people. And what? What are you talking about? Yeah, I would rather ride the short bus too. I'm only 4'11". I am short. I don't care if I ride the short bus. Hell, probably better to hang out with the people on the short bus. You know what I mean? All right, adore you guys. Go do you. Hang out. Feel free. I'm going to go do a kitten check. So, Lord help me on that. Jesus, take the wheel on that. That's all I can say. I love them. I'm doing my best. But peace out, you guys. Go do you. Have a great night. I am not going to be live tomorrow. I can promise you that. Got things to do. I'm going to go get my hair cut. It's about time. I need my hair cut. I am over it. You got your room torn apart? I know. I was busy today. I got busy today. I still got things I need to do, but it's already 8 o'clock and nothing else is happening tonight. I can guarantee you that. So, but I adore you guys. Thank you for hanging out. Please come back and hang out again. Debbie, Puppy, adore you guys. I don't think I had another mod in here, did I? I don't want to forget anybody. Oh, Flies. Well, we're praying for you, Flies. Maybe she's taking a nap. Maybe she went to take a nap. A nap. All right. Thanks, you guys. Have a good one. Peace out.